Strategic Infrastructure Developments in Greenland by 2024, analyzing $1.8 billion investments for satellite communications and renewable energy systems to counteract China's influence. Event Overview. In a significant move that highlights the geopolitical tensions in the Arctic region, investments totaling $1.8 billion are slated for strategic infrastructure developments in Greenland by 2024. These investments primarily focus on enhancing satellite communications and renewable energy systems. The initiative aims to bolster Greenland's connectivity and energy security, countering the growing influence of China in the Arctic. Investment objectives and focus areas. The investment strategy centers on two main areas. 1. Satellite communications. Developing advanced satellite communication technologies to improve connectivity in Greenland, which is critical for both civilian and military operations in the region. Enhanced communication capabilities will facilitate better coordination among Arctic nations and improve local governance and emergency response systems. 2. Renewable energy systems. Investing in renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, and hydroelectric power to promote energy independence and sustainability. This aligns with global moves towards greener energy solutions and aims to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. These initiatives are crucial given Greenland's strategic location and its potential to become a key player in Arctic affairs, especially as climate change alters the region's geography and accessibility to resources. Geopolitical context. The backdrop of these investments is marked by increasing geopolitical tensions, particularly due to China's assertive policies in the Arctic. Over the past decade, China has expanded its presence through infrastructure investments and resource extraction efforts in the region, positioning itself as a near-Arctic state. This has raised concerns among Western nations about China's intentions and its impact on global security. The U.S. and its allies view the investments in Greenland as a countermeasure to China's growing influence. By strengthening infrastructure in Greenland, the West aims to ensure that the Arctic remains accessible and secure for allied nations while also supporting Greenland's autonomy and development. Consensus on strategic importance. Across various sources, there is a consensus regarding the following key points. 1. Investment dual focus. The investments in satellite communications and renewable energy reflect a coordinated effort to enhance Greenland's infrastructure while promoting sustainable energy solutions. 2. Geopolitical implications. The need to counter China's influence in the Arctic is widely acknowledged, with the investments serving as a means to reinforce alliances and strengthen local infrastructure. 3. Greenland's strategic role. Greenland is recognized as a vital location for military and economic interests, with the potential to serve as a hub for Arctic operations, especially in light of new shipping routes and resource accessibility. Divergent perspectives. While there is agreement on the overall goals of the investments, perspectives vary on the specifics. Some sources emphasize the environmental benefits of renewable energy systems, positioning Greenland as a leader in sustainable practices. Others focus on the military and economic advantages of the investments, questioning their effectiveness in counteracting China's influence in the region. Moreover, skepticism exists regarding the speed and efficacy of these initiatives in achieving the desired geopolitical balance. Timeline of events. 2024, the anticipated culmination of the $1.8 billion investment in satellite communications and renewable energy systems. Past decade, notable increases in Chinese investments in Arctic infrastructure and resources, prompting concerns among Western allies. Recent developments. 2023, heightened discussions among Western nations regarding cooperative investments in Greenland as a strategic response to China's advancements. Conclusion. The strategic infrastructure developments in Greenland represent a critical intersection of environmental sustainability and geopolitical strategy. The planned investments not only aim to enhance local capabilities but also serve as a broader response to the challenges posed by China's growing presence in the Arctic. As the Arctic continues to evolve due to climate change, the importance of Greenland as a strategic player in global affairs is set to increase. The investments are expected to strengthen ties between Greenland and its allies, ensuring that the region remains secure and sustainable for future generations. The text provided outlines the strategic infrastructure developments planned for Greenland by 2024. Particularly focusing on the $1.8 billion investments aimed at enhancing satellite communications and renewable energy systems to counter China's increasing influence in the Arctic region. Here are some counterintuitive insights derived from the content. 1. Investment for sustainability versus militarization. While the investments in satellite communications and renewable energy systems are positioned as a counter to China's influence, they also serve the dual purpose of promoting environmental sustainability. This can be seen as counterintuitive because typically large geopolitical maneuvers in contested regions are associated with military posturing rather than green investments. The expectation is that enhancing Greenland's infrastructure will not only bolster geopolitical standing but also contribute to global sustainability efforts. 2. Perception of China as a threat versus their investment in renewable energy. The narrative often paints China as a significant threat to Arctic geopolitics, yet simultaneously, China is a global leader in renewable energy investments. This presents a paradox where a nation perceived to be aggressive in expanding its sphere of influence is also making substantial investments in technologies that align with global climate goals. This duality can complicate the perception of China's role in the Arctic, where it is both a competitor and a potential collaborator in renewable energy initiatives. 3. Skepticism about the effectiveness of investments. Despite the strong consensus on the need for investments to counteract China's influence, there is skepticism regarding the effectiveness and timeliness of these initiatives. This skepticism runs counter to the typical expectation that increased investment will automatically lead to enhanced capabilities and influence. The implication here is that simply pouring money into infrastructure may not lead to a proportional increase in geopolitical leverage or deterrence against China. For geopolitical significance versus local needs, the investments are framed as strategic moves to enhance global geopolitical dynamics, yet there are underlying local needs in Greenland that may be overlooked. The counterintuitive element here is that while these investments are intended to serve international strategic interests, they might not necessarily align with or address the immediate socio-economic needs of the local population. This could create tension between local priorities and the broader geopolitical narrative being promoted by external powers. 5. China's economic resilience amid global pressures. China's economy continues to show resilience despite pressures from geopolitical tensions and domestic challenges such as the property market crisis. This resilience contradicts the narrative that geopolitical pressures will significantly destabilize China's economy. The ability of China to maintain its growth trajectory even in the face of such challenges suggests that the anticipated effectiveness of investments in Greenland as a countermeasure might be overstated. 6. Renewable energy as a geopolitical tool. The idea that renewable energy systems can serve as tools of geopolitical strategy is itself counterintuitive. Traditionally, energy has been viewed through the lens of security and military might. However, investing in renewable energy infrastructure in Greenland not only addresses local energy needs and sustainability but also positions the region as a strategic ally in the global shift towards cleaner energy. This could redefine the dynamics of power in the Arctic, where energy independence becomes a form of soft power. 7. Western unity against a common threat versus internal divisions. The investments are seen as a unifying effort among Western allies to counteract a common threat. However, the internal divisions within these nations regarding climate policies, energy strategies, and economic priorities could undermine the coherence of this unified stance. This presents a counterintuitive situation where the perceived need for solidarity against China may be hampered by domestic political and economic realities. These insights highlight the complex interplay of local and global factors, the dual roles of investments. and the nuanced realities of geopolitics in the context of Greenland and the Arctic. The report on strategic infrastructure developments in Greenland by 2024 outlines significant investments aimed at enhancing satellite communications and renewable energy systems. While the overall thrust of the report focuses on countering China's influence in the Arctic region, certain nuanced elements of the report may be overlooked by many readers, yet they hold substantial significance. 1. Investment in renewable energy systems. One of the key points that might not receive adequate attention is the dual focus on satellite communications and renewable energy systems. While both objectives are tied to enhancing strategic capabilities in Greenland, the renewable energy aspect deserves more emphasis. The importance of renewable energy systems cannot be understated in the context of global climate commitments and energy independence. Significance. Environmental leadership. By investing in renewable energy, Greenland has the opportunity to position itself as a leader in sustainable practices. This is particularly relevant in the Arctic region, which is highly susceptible to the effects of climate change. The development of renewable energy sources can serve as a model for other nations, potentially influencing global policies on sustainable development. Energy security. Enhancing local energy capabilities reduces reliance on external energy supply chains, which can be particularly vulnerable to geopolitical tensions. This investment not only promotes local self-sufficiency but also boosts national security by mitigating dependence on foreign energy sources. 2. Geopolitical implications of infrastructure developments. The report highlights the geopolitical context of these investments, particularly the rising tensions surrounding China's assertive policies in the Arctic. However, the implications of these investments extend beyond immediate geopolitical concerns. Significance. Global supply chains. The Arctic is becoming increasingly important as new shipping routes emerge due to climate change. Greenland's investments can enhance its role in global supply chains, particularly in the context of the Northern Sea Route and polar navigation. This could have long-term economic benefits for Greenland and its allies, as well as influence trade flows between major economies. Strategic partnerships. The investments could lead to strengthened alliances between Greenland and Western nations, fostering cooperation in areas such as scientific research, resource management, and security. These partnerships may also serve as a counterbalance to China's influence, reinforcing the U.S. and its allies' strategic interests in the region. 3. Local economic development and job creation. The report mentions the strategic importance of these developments but may underplay the local economic benefits that can arise from such substantial investments. Significance. Economic diversification. Greenland has historically relied on fishing and mining. By investing in new technologies and infrastructure, the country can diversify its economy, creating new industries and opportunities for local entrepreneurs. This could lead to a reduction in economic vulnerability and enhanced resilience against global market fluctuations. Job creation. The construction and operation of satellite communication systems and renewable energy facilities are likely to create numerous jobs. This can have positive ripple effects on improving living standards and reducing outmigration. 4. Cultural and social considerations. The report primarily focuses on technical and geopolitical aspects but may overlook the cultural and social ramifications of these developments. Significance. Indigenous rights and involvement. As Greenland advances its infrastructure projects, it is vital to consider the rights and involvement of indigenous populations. Their input in decision-making processes can ensure that development is sustainable and culturally appropriate. This is significant not only for ethical reasons but also for fostering community support and ensuring the long-term success of projects. Impact on traditional lifestyles. Infrastructure development can disrupt traditional lifestyles and ecosystems. Addressing these concerns proactively can help mitigate potential conflicts and lead to more harmonious development strategies that respect local cultures and practices. 5. Long-term vision beyond 2024. While the report emphasizes developments by 2024, the long-term vision for Greenland's strategic infrastructure investments may be less clear. Significance. Sustainability and continuity. It is essential to stretch the narrative beyond immediate investments to consider how these projects will be maintained and expanded in the future. Establishing a framework for ongoing investment and development can ensure that the benefits of these initial projects are realized over the long term, fostering a culture of continuous improvement and innovation in Greenland. Adaptability to climate change. The Arctic is undergoing rapid changes due to climate change necessitating flexible and adaptive infrastructure. Future strategies should incorporate climate resilience to safeguard investments against environmental uncertainties, ensuring that Greenland can withstand the impacts of climate change in the coming decades. Conclusion. The strategic infrastructure developments in Greenland represent a multifaceted initiative with implications that reach far beyond mere economic investments. While the report adequately addresses the geopolitical context and the immediate goals of countering China's influence, it is crucial to also highlight the environmental, economic, cultural, and long-term sustainability aspects of these developments. By doing so, stakeholders can ensure that Greenland not only enhances its strategic position in the Arctic but also fosters a resilient and inclusive future for its people and environment. 1. Investment overview and objectives. The strategic infrastructure developments in Greenland, backed by a $1.8 billion investment, are primarily aimed at enhancing satellite communications and renewable energy systems. This investment not only addresses the technological and energy needs of Greenland but also serves as a significant geopolitical maneuver to counteract China's growing influence in the Arctic. The dual focus on advanced technology and renewable energy aligns with global sustainability goals, suggesting a commitment to both local development and environmental responsibility. 2. Geopolitical context and strategic importance. The geopolitical backdrop is crucial, particularly in light of China's assertive policies in the Arctic, and the investments could enhance military and economic interests for the U.S. and its allies. This geopolitical dimension warrants an in-depth analysis of how infrastructure developments can reshape power dynamics in the Arctic. 3. Consensus and divergence in perspectives. While there is a consensus across various sources regarding the investment's goals and implications, differences in perspectives emerge regarding the effectiveness of these initiatives in countering China's influence. Some analyses emphasize environmental sustainability and potential leadership in renewable practices, whereas others highlight military advantages. This divergence points to the complexity of the geopolitical landscape and the multifaceted nature of the investments in Greenland, necessitating a nuanced discussion on their potential impact on local, regional, and global scales. 4. Environmental and economic sustainability. The investment plan indicates a commitment to renewable energy systems, aligning with broader global trends towards sustainability. This aspect raises important questions regarding the balance between energy security and environmental impact in Greenland. The potential for the region to become a leader in sustainable practices, coupled with the economic benefits of enhanced infrastructure, presents an opportunity for in-depth analysis on how these developments can serve both local communities and global environmental goals. The implications for local employment, economic stability, and ecological conservation should be pivotal topics of discussion. 1. The Panama Canal 1904 to 1914. The construction of the Panama Canal was a monumental engineering project that significantly altered maritime trade routes. The United States took control of the project in 1904 after a failed French attempt and completed it in 1914. The canal allowed ships to travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans without the lengthy detour around South America, thereby enhancing global trade efficiency. The geopolitical implications were profound, as it allowed the U.S. to project power across the Americas and into the Pacific, influencing regional dynamics and trade patterns, much like the strategic investments currently being made in Greenland to counteract China's influence in the Arctic. 2. The The Suez Canal 1869. Opened in 1869, the Suez Canal provided a crucial shortcut for ships traveling between Europe and Asia, significantly reducing travel time and costs. The canal's construction was spearheaded by the French, but British interests quickly dominated, leading to geopolitical tensions and conflicts over control of this vital trade route. The canal has been a focal point of international relations, impacting trade routes and military strategies, similar to how the Arctic region's melting ice and emerging shipping routes are reshaping global geopolitical dynamics. 3. The Great Wall of China, 7th century BC, 16th century AD. While primarily a defensive structure, the Great Wall of China also served a strategic purpose in controlling trade and migration along the Silk Road. Its construction spanned several dynasties and symbolized the need for territorial integrity and control over trade routes. Just as the Great Wall was instrumental in China's historical geopolitical strategy, Greenland's strategic infrastructure investments aim to cement U.S. and Allied influence in response to rising competition from China in the Arctic, ensuring control over emerging resources and trade routes. The strategic infrastructure developments in Greenland, driven by a $1.8 billion investment in satellite communications and renewable energy systems, are poised to significantly alter the geopolitical landscape of the Arctic region by 2024. As nations vie for influence in this increasingly important area, particularly in the context of countering China's growing presence, several key predictions can be made about the future. 1. Enhanced geopolitical dynamics in the Arctic. Greenland's investments will likely lead to intensified geopolitical competition in the Arctic. As the region becomes more accessible due to climate change, the strategic significance of Greenland will grow, with Western nations, particularly the US and its allies, pushing back against China's ambitions in the area. This could manifest in increased military presence, diplomatic efforts, and potentially even conflicts over resources and shipping routes. 2. Strengthened satellite communications infrastructure. The focus on satellite communications will enhance Greenland's connectivity, facilitating not only local communication but also improving the operational capabilities of Western military forces in the Arctic. This infrastructure will likely support enhanced surveillance and monitoring of Chinese activities in the region, thereby providing a strategic advantage to allied nations. The effectiveness of this communication network could influence military strategies and response times in the event of geopolitical tensions. 3. Growth of renewable energy sector. Investments in renewable energy systems are expected to position Greenland as a leader in sustainable energy practices. As nations grapple with climate change and energy security, Greenland's advancements in renewable technologies could serve as a model for other nations. This growth may also attract further investments and partnerships, fostering a new economy centered around green technologies and energy exports. 4. Economic development and local empowerment. The influx of investments is likely to stimulate economic growth in Greenland, creating jobs and improving living standards for local populations. Enhanced infrastructure could lead to better access to education, health services, and economic opportunities for indigenous communities. However, this development must be managed carefully to ensure that local interests are prioritized and that the benefits of these investments do not disproportionately favor external stakeholders. 5. Increased environmental concerns. As infrastructure projects expand, environmental impacts will need to be closely monitored. The Arctic is a fragile ecosystem, and increased human activity poses risks to its biodiversity. Future developments will likely necessitate rigorous environmental assessments and sustainable practices to mitigate potential harm. Failure to balance development with environmental preservation could lead to significant ecological consequences and backlash from both local communities and global environmental organizations. 6. Potential for international cooperation. The strategic investments in Greenland may foster greater international cooperation among Arctic nations. Shared interests in maintaining security, sustainable development, and environmental protections could lead to collaborative frameworks among Arctic states. Such cooperation could reduce tensions and build trust, facilitating joint initiatives in areas such as scientific research, disaster response, and environmental conservation. 7. Challenges in implementation and effectiveness. While the investments are ambitious, challenges remain regarding their implementation and effectiveness. Skepticism surrounding the pace and effectiveness of these initiatives may persist, especially given the complexities of Arctic geopolitics and environmental challenges. Ongoing political will, funding, and technical expertise will be critical to ensure that these investments translate into tangible benefits. 8. Evolving role of China. China's influence in the Arctic will continue to evolve in response to these developments, and geopolitical competition will shape the region's future. As nations navigate these complexities, the balance of power in the Arctic may shift, with Greenland emerging as a crucial player on the world stage. The outcomes of these investments will depend on thoughtful implementation, international collaboration, and a commitment to sustainable development practices that prioritize local communities and environmental integrity.